It's Molly here, and I'm here to talk about today a little about what I'm seeing over YouTube. So I have been seeing this whole thing about go vegan, it's best, or vegan's so good for you, it's healthy, it makes you lose weight, all this bullshit. For me, growing up, I honestly think vegan is really good. Like, I have a lot of friends that are vegan. It's just, I don't know. No. I grew up on a ranch for half of my life. I'm now 17. I lived on a ranch until I was 15 years old. And when I lived on a ranch, when we had our ranch, we slaughtered our own cows for our meat. We had our own chickens for our own meat. We had our own garden for our own veggies. It's like when I see all these people say, oh, when you buy meat, you're supporting other health, it's like, I get that when you buy it from a store, but when it's, okay, because this has happened to me, when people say, oh, you're supporting, animals being slaughtered, in a slaughterhouse, you're supporting that kind of stuff, you're supporting hormonal, meat. I'm like, no, I honestly don't, I have grew up on our home farm. I'm used to eating wild foods. I'm used to growing my own home raised cattle, anything. Like, I have honestly, like, yes, for the past 2 years of my life, I have, yes, been eating meat from the store. But I get it from stores that do the same thing. They slaughter their own cows. So we have what are so-called mom and pop stores with home raised, no hormone, nothing. And it's like when people come over to my house and they're like, "Oh, you have eggs, da 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 da." I'm like, I understand you're vegan, but take this in perspective. These are homegrown eggs. This is all homegrown. We don't eat no hormonal shit. It's like I hate when people think that just because it's store bought, like I understand when it's store bought, like yeah, duh, I've seen the videos, like they're all hormonal. They get dropped and zapped on the head or whatever. I'm like, I'm not for that. Okay, I hate seeing animals go through that. But what I'm saying is, if you grow your own livestock, you should be able to eat it freely. Because for me growing up, I used to eat rattlesnake. I used to eat rabbits. I used to, but it was because we raised them to eat them. I used to eat rattlesnake, what was it, rabbit, duck, we used to eat deer. Ooh, mama's home cooked stew, deer stew. Oof, don't even get me started about it. We never killed babies though. We only killed bucks, and we'd always count the bucks before we shot them. That too. With our bulls, we had one bull one year, and me and a couple of my friends out on my ranch, we went riding one day, came home, didn't really know we pissed the bull off, and we got in trouble, but you live, you learn. Like, we had to go, us kids, we had to stay inside and wait for the adults to put the fucking bull back. From that day, I don't ever think we had a bull, cattle perspective, we never had a bull after that. We used to raise our own sheep, our own turkey for Thanksgiving, so we would go find a nest somewhere. I know it's mean. Or we would find a mother turkey on our ranch and we'd just raise her and we'd get a male and bada boom. And we would keep the egg and we would kick the mom and dad out, so to speak. But we had fields. So when we had these animals, the cattle would be grown off their own land, their own space. They had, yes, we grew hay inside of their pen because it was easier to do it that way. It was like, hey, why not? And our goats, we never had to do anything for them. Like, we had goats, sheep, we had everything in the book. We had peacocks at one time, but we never ate them. We just had them for show because, duh, you live on a farm. What else? What kind of animal do you want? Like, that kind of sort of thing. But it's like, I hate when people get in their head, oh, let's go vegan. It's like, I get that. I love you being vegan. I understand you being vegan is fucking great. But it's the fact that when people come to me and tell me, oh, don't eat that egg, it has hormones and shit in it. And when I crack it open, it's fucking pure, almost almost red orange. And my friends are like, ew, has that been like spermed or something? Like, has that been fertilized? I'm like, no, it's just a homegrown egg. It's not grain raised. It's fucking what chickens are supposed to be eating. It's not like, come on now. We feed our chickens what they're supposed to be fed. Sometimes we get a little lazy and we'll feed them like veggies or we'll like whatever we eat. It's like, oh, you want some bread? Here's some bread. Or like if we had leftover like lettuce or something, we would give them lettuce because you know what? When that shit goes bad, I'm not gonna throw out a big thing of lettuce like this big that we just grew for fucking 10 weeks. That's gross now. It's like if it gets gross, feed it to the pigs, feed it to the chickens. It's like whatever we don't eat, same. Oh, we've also done this. We don't do it with meat. We do it with like vegetables. So when we freeze our vegetables and they get old because we don't eat them very fast, what we do is we take them out of the freezer after we put an expiration date. We go like a year to a year and a half with them because sometimes certain veggies just kind of deteriorate. But I think the most we would keep like peas that you can freeze, green beans. I think the most is like 6 months to a year. I think that we would keep them, and then after that we'd bring them outside, put them in the nice hot sun, kind of broil them, or so to speak, make them a little hot in the sun, and we would throw them in the pig's pen or we throw them in the goat's pen. It's like we weren't treating them badly, but it's like when people come to my ranch, they're always like, oh, they're like, you live on a ranch. It's like, yeah, I live on a ranch. We grow our own livestock, like bada bing, bada boom. I've never been a part of 4-H. I honestly wish I could have been a part of 4-H, but my family said no. Like, why are we gonna raise an animal and then auction it off? I mean, you get money from it, which is great. You get money, right? Money's great. Money makes the world go round, or so to speak. But I'm always like, no, I'm good. I don't want to do that because I learned the hard way by going to those I used to go to fairs every year and I'd watch these little kids younger than me like auction off their animals and then be like, Mommy, where are they going? Daddy, where are they going? And it's like, you're never gonna fucking see your cow again. Sorry. My family also owns a dairy out in Hillmar, hence Hillmar cheese. And they do pretty fucking good. Now, don't ask me what they do when they get sick or something. Like, I honestly don't know. I just know that I know most dairies, I did my research, most dairies do kill them for meat after, like, a certain amount of years, or so to speak. Like, I know Black Angus, you would really want for the meat. You wouldn't want a dairy cow Black Angus because it does not give out good milk or anything like that. They're just not the breed for a dairy cow, but for a Black Angus, for like a nice old beef or a steak or what else comes, I don't know. Just, yeah, it's really good for that kind of stuff. And it's like a dairy cow is really good for making cheese, butter, milk. What else did it? Cottage cheese, sour cream. It's like my family, we eat so much dairy. I don't even think I'd be able to think about going vegan because I thought about it. Yeah, me and my sister did the 30-day challenge vegan thing to see if we actually wanted to do it. Now, I have had friends that grew up on a farm and were vegan. In my head, that's stupid. Like, why would you grow up on a farm? I mean, okay, if you grew up on a farm with horses, that's a different story. Like, I grew up on a farm with horses, goats, pigs, fucking turkey, chicken, cows. Like, I grew up with everything a farm is supposed to have. Like, I understand those kids that are like, I'm Western, like, look at me, I'm Western. It's like, I get it. You're vegan because you own horses. I have a lot of friends that own horses, but they're not vegan because, I don't know, like, I have a lot of friends that can go both ways, okay? I'm just that kind of person that I agree with vegan people, but at the same time, it's like, when they come after me saying that I'm the reason why we have all this problem, it's like, I'm an environmentalist, and I know these kind of things. I know what's going on in our oceans. Like, I'm not fucking stupid. Like, you know, my teacher makes me want to kill people that are, like, stupid. And, like, I'm gonna call you out right now. Sarah Palin. I'm gonna call you out right now. Because I'm an environmentalist, I'm gonna call that bitch out. Because you know what? She says that this whole thing that's going on right now with the ecosystem and the fucking ocean, everything. Nope. Nope. I got another video for her because she's a dumbass bitch. And you guys can put me on national television because frankly, I don't care. Because what she's saying is incorrect and scientists can prove her ass wrong. Okay? But what I'm saying is, I'm getting totally off topic here. What I'm saying is when I have vegan people come after me, it's like, oh hell no, like you just raised your hand for a fight. Because I understand, yes, I do eat meat from store bought, but it's like I'm buying meat from mom and pop shops where they physically go to people. They literally take their livestock, take it to this slaughter. They literally slaughter it right there in front of your eyes. They do. Like, I've gone with my fucking cows, and they slaughter them. They say, well, what do you want? Do you want this to be hamburger? Do you want beef out of this? Do you want steak? Do you want it cut this way? Do you want it cut that way? And it's like, oh, shit. An entire cow, disclude the intestines and the skin, goes to hamburger. I don't know if that includes fat, honestly. I don't know how they do it. I go and they do it. I have watched my neighbor kill a deer in front of me. And I had to learn. I learned how to skin it just by watching him. I probably would not be able to do this now. But what you have to do is, you have to skin it. You have to open it up, do all that kind of bullshit. Then you have to package the meat like that, like in a snap of your fingers. You gotta get that shit out. You have to, like, chop that. You have to hack it off. Like, there's no waiting. Like, every time I've eaten like wild animals. So let's go into perspective here. That's saying deer, wild boar, rattlesnake, jackrabbit. What else? I've never had mountain lion. A couple people have around here, but I'm just like, I don't want to mess with their side. I mean, I'm just not that kind of person. I have had wild turkey, and now let me tell you, anything that's wild, that's out in the wild, is fucking bomb. Okay, when we go out and hunt for, like, seasons, like, this year, I want to go and shoot my own turkey. No one in my family wants to. I don't even know how to use a gun, frankly, because I grew up with a Red Ryder, with a fucking little BB gun that only shoots pellets, okay? I don't have a straight aim, but I remember the last time my brother shot a gun, he fucking cried because he shot a bird. Because he was scared that he was gonna fall under. People were gonna tell him that, oh, he did something wrong. It's like, I understand. Oh, wild geese, that's good. But so off topic here, it's like, I want to do something different. It's like, everyone here probably goes and buys their turkey every year. For the past 2 years, no, 3 or 4 or 5 years, I think was the first time that I remember the first time we ever had, like, something store bought, and I kind of was, like, drinking at the table. Like, I'd eat a little bit of it, but I wouldn't eat a lot of it because it just doesn't taste good. Does that make sense? Like, my mom would marinate our chicken, like, fucking for 2 days, and then we'd eat it, but it was really good, rich, no hormones, no nothing. It's like, come on now. I've had my friends that have eaten store-bought eggs. They literally say they taste like fucking shit. They come to my house, and I have fresh, farmed eggs, and they literally look at me and say, can I take a dozen home? Like, I've never not once had a friend, like, dead straight in my eye and be like, these eggs suck. Like, no, it's like, girl, let me get some of what you got over here, cause it's good. And it's like, I understand vegan people go vegan because it's not only is a trend with teenagers now, it's like, oh my god, I'm vegan. Like, you should totally go vegan because it's saving the planet. No. I understand y'all want to go vegan because it's going to #save the planet. Oh my god. But it's just like, girl, I get where you're coming from, but don't turn it around on me and then tell me I'm doing something wrong. Because I'm not. Frankly, I'm not. I honestly, in my opinion, I would try to go vegan one more time, but I tried it already once for I didn't even make it through the full 30 days because Girl, let me tell you, them pancakes need egg. That cake needs egg. Those cookies need eggs. Now, let me tell you, I did one time. I tried a vegan cookie. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. I didn't like it. They used bananas and what was it? Bananas are the eggs, and then the coconut oil is the butter. I tried it. Didn't like it because it's just not to my liking. I like to taste cookies. I like to taste fucking thousands of year recipe passed down through my family. Recipes are fucking bomb. It's like, I probably would be able to go vegan. But when it came to cookies, cake, or anything that had like pancakes, what else do I make that has eggs? I make a lot of shit with eggs. I'm gonna tell you. I make some good ass fried chicken, and that got eggs in it too, but fried chicken right there. And it's just like, it sucks because people they're like, I want to follow a trend, and I want to be that cool person that says, oh, I'm vegan. I understand. Meat makes me a little bit loaded and a little bit gassy. I get it. I just will have it once or twice a week. I've been eating it my entire life. Almost. Okay, since I was probably like 3 or 4, I've been eating it. My mama's beans. If you're a vegetarian, you come over to my house, I guarantee you, like, all my friends that have eaten my mom's beans are like, oh my god, your mom's beans are so fucking to die for. Like, they're to die for. Like, everyone loves my mom's beans. A Mexican came over to my house. I don't mean to, like, say it like that. One of my friends, she's like, full-blown Mexican. She literally looked at me and told me, your mom's beans are spicier than my mom, and my mom is, full-blooded Puerto Rican. She's full-blooded, Mexican. Like, she came from Mexico. And I'm not saying this, I'm not saying Mexican, like, to be rude or anything, but it's like, that's what they are. It's like, I'm a fucking Caucasian bitch. But it's like, yeah, okay, everyone down the line of my friends calls me the white fucking cunt. Okay? I get it, because I'm white. But if you know my background, I'm Portuguese, I'm Italian, now I'm the black Italian. And, well, it's the tan Italian, whatever. My mama calls it the black Italian because my daddy's side is black. There's the, so I'm Portuguese, I'm Italian, and I'm Native American. All those 3 are dark, and I'm white as fuck. It's because I'm Swiss Italian too, and the Swiss Italian covers over. Like, my hair, like this, everyone's like, oh my god, your hair is so blonde. It's like, this is dyed. This is my natural hair color, and it's like, my natural hair color was like really blonde when I was a kid. But when you look at my mom, everyone's like, why is your mom so dark and you're so white? But totally off topic, because that's not even what I came here to talk about. Anyways, but it's still like, back to my mama's beans, they have meat. It has ham hocks in it. Sometimes it has, she puts hamburger in it. And I have vegan friends come over and like, oh, what's in it? I'm like, nothing, it's just a bunch of shit ton of vegetables and beans. Like, what else? Oh, onions, we just put a bunch of spices in it. She's like, okay. And after they're eating it, I feel bad for letting them eat, like, something that had a pork, was it? I just said it, and I can't remember. It's like a pork, ham hock. There you go. A ham hock. So she doesn't put the whole ham hock in, she just puts the bone, because the majority of the fat surrounds the bone, and she puts the bone in there with the fat, but she takes the fat out later, and some of them eat, because she doesn't like the ham. I don't know. I don't know why she does it, but she does take out all the fat. She does take all of that. But she puts in there for flavor. And after they're done eating, they're like, oh my god, these are the best fucking beans I've ever had. I'm like, yeah, I know. They have, well, then they're like, oh, what kind of spices? I'm like, they have allspice. And they're like, okay, but what else? Because I kind of want to make them at home. And I'm like, well, they have ham hock, and sometimes we'll put hamburger meat in them. Like, oh my god, I just ate a fat. And I'm like, no, calm down. You need to realize that wasn't store-bought. Like, we didn't buy that shit from the store. And they're like, they kind of like take a step back and they're like, don't tell me about that. So I'm like, no. We, like, home raised it ourselves. But it's like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just here to say, y'all need to know what vegan is before you guys rant about it. And me being me, I understand where y'all coming from, but I am a southern person. And I grew up on a farm, so I mean, it could just be my perspective. But I know a lot of people that lived on farms that, so to say, lived on a farm with horses. I guess you can consider it a farm. Guessing you could. I, so to speak, live on a farm/ranch, whatever you want to call it, because we did not only have hay growing and other crop growing, we also had livestock, so it was kind of a win-win. But anyways, that's all I had to speak about. I'm not going to go too far into detail about stuff else because I will get really fucking far off topic. But that's all I have to say because it's a new trend, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. It's a new trend. All my friends are like, it's a new trend. You should try it. It's like, if fucking Colby Calais jumps off a bridge, will you do it too? I don't think so, boo-boo. And it's like, I hate when people do that kind of stuff. It's like, just because you see people doing it, don't choose it. If you're having a hard time, if you're having like a really hard time dieting, I think that's a really great idea because I did lose a shit ton of weight doing it. But that's just everyone else's opinion, and here's mine. I just want to say shout out to all you guys that are vegan because I honestly, I would, if I could, I would try vegan, but I can't. I love chicken too much. I love eggs too much. I love meat. The only thing I have to say I hate would be hot dogs. Those are gross. Gross. I like hamburgers. I like steak. I like tri-tip. I like everything, okay? That's all I gotta say. But yeah. Bye, guys.